Okay, so I think that today is the last day for this English speaking video, and then tomorrow I'm gonna move to the next one. But okay, so let's start. So let's do the final one. Okay, so let's do it. You know, saying you choose to get your best. I would say freaking that you will be the best. Is being 20% of class good enough for you? No. If you want to, you got to get after it, and then you start producing good results and you build confidence along the way. Let's just purchased here 10 city techniques and I square by as medical students. They help make it into medicine and they use these on a day-to-day basis. Half of them focus on the actual study techniques and the other half focus on the study mentality, which is just as important. Let's start with the first one. First, to the study from the table core materials outworks. So let's say the box represents all the information that is presented to you, and the star in the middle is it is studyable material. Someone who doesn't know how to study will go too tough from the bottom covering every single detail. And when the exam time comes, they haven't covered like 20 to 30% of what is studyable. Whereas someone who knows how to study will start from the middle, study from the core materials, then it's studyable, and then study outbooks. And then the exam time comes, although they haven't studied everything, they study what is important and what is studyable. I know that you want to be the best student as possible. I want to be the best doctor as possible. So when studying, we have this tendency to try everything and make this mindset shift focusing on those long-term goals to short-term goals. And those short-term goals is the second courses are to pass and get good grades in every midterms and in every exam is presented before you. And then these long-term critic of himself. So you know what is studyable or not. There are three ways of figuring that out. First is to look for practice tests or previous tests. Sometimes the lectures give you couple questions at the end of the lecture to go over on attention to those. I also looked online in encouraged to figure out if there are any practice tests lying around. I asked seniors if they have taken the course and if they had any practice material. I asked my friend who was also taking the course, you used your resources to figure out if there are any additional study materials that you can use. You can have to think like a seminar, not learners. When you're going over materials, always imagine in your mind how can I study in the middle of one? How can I test this in a short action format? And then try to learn that way. Number two on the list is to write good concise notes and then plan out on your timing for your midterms and on your exams. And increasingly if you're studying that you're not falling behind. So for example, let's just say if you're taking five courses and before midterm you have to go over 10 lectures per course. Then each lecture has 50 slides. That's also 2,500 slides that you have to go over before your midterm. So you have to write a good concise notes that summarizes everything. That makes it manageable for you to go over materials before you write a good midterm so that you're not overloaded. To write a good note as possible containing keywords and important information. You know that if you don't remember something from your note, you have the PowerPoint slides that you can always fall back on. Number three on the list is to use active recalling learning. I mean, the video on this recently that you can watch, but let me expand on that further here. Let me start off by giving you examples of students who don't know how to study. So presented with an information like mitochondria is the power of a cell. What they do is, without thinking, they just write. Nothing's going to their brains. So what I do when I am going over my note is, when I read the information, I read only the keywords. And then I suppose to look okay my note and look at my keyword. For example, what is mitochondria? And then try to think mitochondria is the part of powerhouse of the cell. Why did the powerhouse of the cell? And then try to supplement information from the lecture is power of the cell because it produces ATP. So I'm using all of my senses. I'm writing down which is my my technical motion. I'm saying things out with my verbal. I'm looking at my notes. Which I'm using my muscles and I'm using saying I'm listening, so I'm using also my auditory senses. As mostly we actively recalling, you cannot remember all information. That's okay because studies shown that just by attempting to recall your connection between information into memory. Number four, I cannot emphasize this enough. Reviewing is just as important as learning new information. So if you have 10 lectures to go over midterm, so for example, I suppose 1 to 20 and then back to 1 to 20. Later is I go to 1 to 5 and then I review 1 to 5 quickly and then I move 6 to 10. And then once I 6 to 10, even more quickly, I go over 1 to 5 and then I look over 6 to 10 and then I go to into 11 to 15. After you have time to this be correctly before midterm so that you actually call for everything. Number five is more mentality thing. You have to study harder for your midterms than your final exams. You're gonna obviously study hard for your final exam, but you have to study harder for your midterms because that sets the tone for the entire course. Let's say the part on midterm, so that entire courses is just a catch-up game. You're worrying the whole time, probably 2 3 months, worrying about whether you're going to get a good enough final mark so that you can make up for getting a bad mark on your midterms. Number six is having a strong mindset throughout school year. I'm gonna come across as a little harsh here, but you know what I'm saying. You just gotta try your best. I will say freaking that you gotta be the best. Is your best really the top 1% of your class? Is your best the top 5% of your class? It will program you want to get into in the end has less than 10% acceptance rate. Is the top 20% of your class good enough for you? No. If you do something, you're the after it, and then you start boosting good results, and then you start reading comments along the way. Number seven is the putting working and outworking everyone, which is kind of counterintuitive to put in this video, but it needs a next video. But compared to someone who knows these techniques but does not work hard, someone who doesn't know any of these techniques and just putting in the hours and entering and sending information into your brain is always going to beat the person with better studying techniques. I wasn't the brightest person in my class, so that I did was I just literally outworked everyone. How do I do that? I worked in the library before everyone else, and I walked out of the library after everyone else. I spent my time sitting on Saturday night, when everyone was going out partying, and there was one of the students, and I was living in the library at the same time last night, and he's now a career situation at UFI. Things like that happen. You just have to outwork everyone if you really want to do it successful. Number eight is getting a serious study partner and friend who want as part of you. If you think it's gonna be hard to find them, well, if you start listening last night and start library all the time, you tend to across these guys. Hardly coming in early in the morning and leaving late at night, coming in on weekends. Living in Korea, I had a group of friends when we studied with, and we didn't interrupt each other. And when it was time to study, we studied and we didn't interrupt each other. And was but those that were thinking off, we went out and had fun. Number nine is staying consistent and staying on top of everything, uh, especially in medicine where there are like millions things going on. If I start to lose track of things, I get super stressed. So I have to be on top of every email. I have to be on top of every assessments and other work I have to do. And I quite you doing with 5 courses plus your extracurriculars and everything going on. So I have to stay on top of everything so that you don't fall behind and get stressed. Let me give you an example of consistency and what is so important. Person A and student B, student 8, is working for the night, Saturday, Sunday, 2 hours each. Student B is a school on Friday night, but Sunday, Saturday, and Sunday is off. And student B has fallen behind student A by 24 hours. So no matter how hard you try, then next on Monday, studying 14 hours as opposed to 12 hours. And today studying 16 hours. That guy is always playing catch up to student A. And when you're in a curve in university and in grade, you're just going on to not be able to compete against student A. Number 10 is physically controlling your anxiety and your worry. When you're going to school, there are two types of warriors. One is someone who does study and is worried about not studying. That's the solution to this simple. You just got to study. Number two is the second type of warrior is someone who worries despite having done all the studies. And when you are in that position, then you need to write down what you worry about. So a notebook, an iPad, or whatever. You worry because you're not seeing what you worry about. So if I have a line halfway in the middle, write down what you can control and what you cannot control. And something like that help me to control is wake up early, go to the library and studying for X amount of hours and staying focused when you're studying. We cannot control is the actual grades that I'm going to get from this course. So if I'm worried about who maybe I'm gonna be plus, I'm gonna A minus, A plus. You cannot control that. Just you cannot control, and you just have to give up on what you cannot control. Okay, so that is the end of this video, and this video is the end of this videos for the series, like 20 videos. And then tomorrow I'm gonna move to the next video to practice my English speaking. Actually it's gonna be like the next 10 minutes speaking video. Okay, so bye guys.